Perhaps one of the weak areas of this channel when it comes to my philosophy and things I discuss is I don't often talk about the balance side of this process, or the balance side of pursuing projects and goals, and I guess more broadly, pursuing dreams. Um, I tend to have that very much that sort of grind mentality, that sort of mentality of just kind of pushing ahead every single day, not necessarily overexerting yourself. I don't think you should ever like be killing yourself in this process, but I think you need to be persistently going after this. Um, if you watch this video, watch this channel and watch my videos, my hope is that you take away from this that uh, one needs to once you have a clear idea of where you want to go with something, you need to go after it very consistently with a sense of drive, but not necessarily killing yourself to get there. That tends to be how I approach this. A very steady, consistent pace is what I advocate for. But in this process, one does need to live as well. You do need to live. I think there is an element of relaxation, of resting, of doing kind of the more frivolous things of life, um, whatever that may be for you. Um, if you'll notice, I haven't exactly done much reading. Um, my Goodreads, I'm still on the same collection of short stories on my Goodreads that I was reading over a month ago. Um, I have basically seems going through basically my collection of Stephen King audiobooks, and I'm still on the same collection. Um, and to be truthful, I haven't listened to that or done any reading. Basically, I don't think in like maybe maybe 2 weeks, 2 3 weeks. It's been a while. Um, and for those that may be wondering, well, yeah, reading such an important part of this process. Why aren't you doing it? The simple answer is I have a very limited amount of time, and I'm using some of my reading time to do more fun things, I should say, that I've put off. Um, these things are more frivolous, and what I mean by that basically is that I'm taking a lot of my time now that I would normally be doing reading. Honestly, I've been catching up on TV shows. Um, I've been playing a few video games on my VR set. Um, I'm doing certain small things that I hadn't done in you know year, 2 years, whatever it's been now. Not since maybe like at least since I started this channel, but certainly I think even before that. Um, and so there are certain things, certain like entertainment that I've just not done in a long time that mm, I've started to miss. I'm not someone basically that needs to like play like the newest game or watch the newest show. In fact, I think last year I don't think I watched. I think maybe I watched like one or two TV shows last year. Um, that might be it. And so I'm not someone that needs to watch all of it, but there comes a point where you sort of get behind certain TV shows and you get that sort of bug of like, man, it'd be fun to do something else. It'd be fun to try out this new game here that I've seen. It'd be fun to catch up on this TV show everyone's talking about, and that's what I've been doing with my reading time now. That's pretty much what I've been doing. I've been having kind of a different type of leisure, I suppose. Um, Now, I will qualify this by saying that I'm still doing my close reading. So every year, I talked about this before. Every year, basically, I pick one book, 1 to 2 books, and I'll actually study it throughout the whole year. It's called a close reading, but I'll call it studying. But I spend basically a whole year analyzing a certain book, looking at how an author did their techniques and how they wrote it, everything from like word choice, sentences to paragraphs to sort of the flow of certain chapters. I basically go through and study that for about a year, one book. I don't ever put it on my Goodreads, so no one will ever know which book it is. I consider this kind of like a very very personal, very sacred process that I don't like to ever reveal what I'm studying, what I'm looking at. Um, but I'm still doing that. So I should preface it by saying I am. So I guess I'm still doing some reading, and in fact, probably the most important form of reading. But I'm not reading a vast array of work right now. I'm not reading a vast array of other books. By the end of this year, if I've read more than 10, I think it'll be kind of a win. Um, this is a year to catch up on some things. To catch up, I suppose, on some of these sort of more mindless forms of entertainment that I've just put off for such a long time, and I've got that itch to sort of get back to it. Um, it's important to have that balance. It's important to give yourself that time. In truth, if perhaps I was back on, like, say, my sabbatical or something like that, where I had way more time, I would be, including the reading with it. But as is right now, working the day job, working on some of the other projects that I do on this channel, uh, in addition to obviously writing every day and family, it just doesn't leave a whole lot of time for necessarily for reading or for even watching television or something like that. Um, so one has to be traded off. And this year, I've kind of decided, I suppose, just by habit, not necessarily not a big decision, but just by happenstance. I've kind of decided that, yeah, we're gonna focus a bit more on the entertainment side of things for now. We're gonna focus a bit more on that, at least for the time being. Maybe summer rolls around, maybe I may change my opinion, when I can sit outside my back porch with sit out my lawn chair there and actually do some reading outside while watch the sunset or something like that. I might get, that may start to happen. But for now, in these kind of dark, cold months, at least, yeah, I'm pretty much, pretty much watching television and playing video games when I'm enjoying my downtime. And so, with that, I'm gonna sign off here. If you are someone though who maybe is feeling guilty, who maybe hasn't caught up with their reading yet, know that I'm there with you. Know there are other authors that are there with you as well. Um, it's Reading's heavily important and it needs to be done, but there again needs to be a certain balance with this process. And for me now, it's the right time to maybe swing the pendulum a little bit more away from the reading, from the focusing, and a bit more towards the fun, for the moment. Pendulum always go back, but for now, that's where I'm at.